Baraka, Yasharallah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, all praises, glory to Yahweh, Hallelujah, praise Yahweh. And saying that, learn and understand what you worship. Through a lack of understanding, many believers, despite of their baptism or confessions, they die outside of their faith. Because see, through the religious teachings and that lack of understanding in these teachings, you all become enemies to Yahweh God. That's why you need to learn and understand what you worshiping, because see, once you understand what you worshiping, you start to grow into the knowledge. You understand me? It is what it is, and a lot of y'all don't have no knowledge. You understand me? Because see, understand, knowledge is these commandments. You understand me? And the church is not designed to teach you the commandments, because if you know the commandments, then you know about idolization. And many believers die, fall victim to idolizations. You understand me? Y'all become enemies through a lack of understanding. You understand me? And in fact, I'm gonna get first, Second Peter, Shalaki, Second Peter 1, and I'm gonna get verse 12, and I'm gonna go into Micah. I'm gonna go to the prophet. I'm gonna get Micah, and I'm gonna get chapter 3, and then I'm gonna go down to verse 5. But I'm gonna start with Micah 3 and 5. Micah chapter 3, verse 5. Thus saith the Lord concerning the prophets that make my people err, that bite their teeth and cry peace, and he put it not into their mouths. They even prepare war against him. Meaning that y'all prepare war against Yahweh God through a lack of understanding. You understand me? Because see, anything outside of these commandments is idolization, sorcery, and witchcraft and rebellion. You understand me? See, so understand that you all don't know Yahweh God. You all don't know the commandments due to the fact that the commandments are not being taught into these churches. You understand me? See, so when he's saying crying out for peace, he's talking about these commandments. Because these commandments is righteous and justice. You understand me? I'm gonna hold that. Let me get Jeremiah 23. And I'm gonna go down to Jeremiah 23, and I'm gonna get 5. I'm gonna go down to verse 5. And then I'm gonna go ahead on to the book of, I'm gonna hold that, and I'm gonna get Isaiah, and I'm gonna go to 9, Isaiah 9 and verse 7. Jeremiah 23 verse 5. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch. Now that righteous branch is what we know, and that's the elect of Israel. And a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in this earth. And that's talking about David, because in the kingdom, David is going to be king again. You understand me? So he's talking about the elect. That righteous branch is what we know today as the elect of Israel. Verse 6. Let's read that again, verse 5. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and the king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in this earth. You understand me? Because see, understand the justice system of man, the scales are tilted. With Yahweh Shai, the scales are not tilted, they're equally played out. Because what's going to take place to him is going to take place to him. For him being disobedient, he finna suffer consequences. And for Israel being disobedient, they gonna suffer consequences. See, y'all have this notion from a lot of Israelite camp talking about that that Yahweh God is racist, but Yahweh God is not racist. You understand me? Even though he chose a nation above other nations, yet that is not racist. You understand me? See, so understand that even the children of Israel, they lack understanding even to this day. And many will die in their fringes, despite it they screaming Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Because see, understand, it's not about waking up to the nationality that you are Israel. It's about the elect of that nationality. You understand me? Because see, understand, even though the church taught physical they speak in the physical, yet a lot of Israelites camps, the main camps, they speak the physical nature of man too. Do you understand me? They lack understanding in what they worshiping. That's why Paul saying Romans 10, 10 and 2, that they have a zeal, but not according to the knowledge, because they ignorant, because they lack understanding in biblical scriptures. Because see, this is the thing. You all have to understand. This is based upon belief. You understand me? And that belief is already determined, was already written long before the foundation of the world. That's why in Matthew 7 he say many are called but a few chosen. You understand me? Because see, those are past tense. You understand me? It is what it is. Isaiah chapter 9 verse 7. Of the increase of his government. Listen, of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth. You understand me? See, so understand that the commandments is just justice. The commandments is righteousness. There is no impartiality when it comes to the judgment or to the commandments, statutes, and ordinances. Do you understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so understand that the commandments is not being taught into these churches. So therefore, y'all lack understanding in what you worshiping. So as a result, y'all die in idolization. You understand me? It doesn't matter how many times you went to revival meetings or Bible studies, or you sung in a choir. You understand me? At the end of the day, through your religious teachings, y'all are enemies to Yahweh God, because y'all not talking about the commandments in any saintly gods, nor any churches. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so understand that the doctrines are the commandments of Yahweh God. Yahweh God commandments is the doctrines. You understand me? And this doctrine is divine, because the doctrine comes directly from Yahweh God. So therefore, y'all have no knowledge and understanding in what you worship. Do you understand me? So therefore, through a lack of understanding, y'all don't grow into grace. Y'all don't grow into the knowledge. Yet y'all grow into the physical or the philosophy and ideology of man. You understand me? I'm gonna hold that. I'm gonna get let me go into the book of let me get Daniel Daniel 12. Let me get Daniel 12 and 4 right quick. Daniel chapter 12 verse 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal up the book even to the time of end. Meaning that even in 2025, at this present moment, this book is closed. You understand me? Although y'all can open it up, although you can quote the scriptures and read it page by page, up and down, yet at the end of the day, this book is closed. You understand me? Because see, understand, the prophecies or the end time is played out politically and astronomically. You understand me? See, so this book is closed. The Bible is symbolic and metaphorically written. See, so you have to be taught to understand what's taking place in the media outlets, because see, y'all like understanding of what this thing is about. So therefore, y'all fall victim to the system, meaning that you all take that mark of the beast, you all have that chip in you, but yet y'all not able to see that and understand that you have that mark of the beast. Despite of you going to church, despite of you believing in some character named Jesus who don't exist, despite of your baptism and confessions, you understand me? At the end of the day, you all are enemies to Yahweh God, due to the fact of that y'all support and then y'all embrace the commandments, the governing system of man, that which leads to death. You understand me? Let's read that again. Daniel chapter 12 verse 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the word and seal up the book even to the time of end. Many shall run to and fro, And knowledge shall be increased, and knowledge have increased it. When you go back into the Renaissance period, because you have four great inventions, and one of the greatest inventions is the printing press, because they reprinted the history. See, there was no more writing a letter, put it on the bird leg, feet, and let the bird fly. You understand me? Or write it down, and then you jump on the horse, and then you go to whatever sound, city, whatever, make 2, 3, 4, 5 days, whatever, how long the journey is. You understand me? Today we have the internet. You understand me? See, so understand that philosophy has increased, and it increased due to the fact that you had the Greek and Roman philosophers that revisit the scriptures in this period. And the revisitation of these scriptures by the Greek and Roman philosophers was known as the humanism, or in the Renaissance period known as humanism, replacement theology. You understand me? Because see, understand the Greeks brought forth this philosophy. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so you have to understand that knowledge of physical knowledge, the philosophy, ideology of man has increased in the Renaissance period, and it's here to this day. Why? Because the truth is not being spoken. You understand me? The commandments is not being spoken due to the fact of that you have the cancellation and you have cancel culture. You understand me? See, so you have all these agendas. You understand me? See, so at the end of the day, that famine of the word is going to take place. And when that take place, y'all like to understand it when these political events do come to pass. You understand me? Because due to the fact of that, the church is not designed to teach you what you worship. Because if you know what you worship, you will understand the commandments. You understand me? And the first commandment is idolization. You understand me? The second is like idolization, and the third. You understand me? Because see, 1 through 5 deals with man and Yahweh God personally. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so y'all become enemies to Yahweh God through your religious teachings, because y'all not teaching these commandments, statutes, and ordinances, because these commandments produce life. 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 12. Wherefore I will not be negligent to put you always in remembrance of these things. And the things that I put y'all in remembrance, and when y'all go through my videos, is politics and religion. You understand me? Because see, with politics and religion, you get to see and understand what you worship, and you get to learn what you worship, and you get to see and understand what this game is about. You understand me? And how it's all biblically related. Let's read that again. 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 12. Wherefore I would not be negligent to put you always in remembrance of these things, though you know them, and be established in the present truth. Meaning that you have a foundation of what the truth is about. You have a foundation of what this game is about, and how these politicians is playing out the prophecies of Yahweh. You understand me? You have some form of truth. So whoever goes into office, at the end of the day, when you turn and watch these media outlets, whether they Democrat or Republican, you'll get an ideology of what this game is about. You understand me? Because see, understand, at the end of the day, these elite that's in the positions of power that run this world, that controls this world, they know that we are the children of Israel. And they know that the tribe of Judah is here in America. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so they understand biblical prophecy. The thing is that you all don't understand biblical prophecy, and through a lack of understanding, y'all captive to the religious ideology and the philosophical views of man. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so understand that I'm not negligent to put you all always into politics and religion. You understand me? Because see, what y'all looking out in the media, Shalaki, is the commandments. You basically you are watching the commandments being played out here in America, not only in America but globally. You can see it playing out, but y'all like understanding of what this game is about. Do you understand me? That's why I'm not negligent. And what y'all looking at, even to this day in 2025, is the commandments. Understand? Understand the commandments is broken up See, understand the commandments is broken up into two tablets. You have a divine tablet and you have a philosophical tablet. Do you understand me? These are the two tablets that Moses received on Mount Sinai. The first tablet is what is divine. Politically, what we call that theocracy. Now you have another tablet, the philosophical tablet. This is where the governing system of man, the man come in. Like you got monarchy, meaning one man rule, anarchy, no man rule. You got arbitrary, right? You have Republican, and now the Republican represents that divine governing system. The Republican Party represents democracy. You understand me? Now, when you line that up with America, America is a religious country. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so the Republican Party represents democracy. Democracy is that divine intervention, a clergy group of men who ruled that intervention. Because see, understand, the church is a religious governing system. You understand me? Just like the government through taxes and regulations, the church take your money too, because it's established just like and set up just like the government. You understand me? And the church has a C4 charter with the IRS. But yet, understand that when y'all go to CNN, MSNBC, this is what y'all looking at when y'all watch Abby Phillips, y'all watch Annika Spearing, T.Y. This is what y'all looking at. You understand me? This is what y'all looking at, the commandments. Because see, understand the commandments is split. It's one legal system that's divided into two parts. You understand me? Oh, and let me finish up. You got in the philosophical system, you got monarchy, anarchy, arbitrary, republican, democracy. Now, democracy is a philosophical view, right? That stands for Demetrius Democritus. That's where we get democratic from. And then you have bureaucracy. You understand me now? I didn't say the Democrats, because see, the Democrats create the opposition. The Democrats are what we know as bureaucrats. They believe in bureaucracy. You understand me now? Communism and bureaucracy are state governing system of man. And they are enslavement, meaning that the government comes and takes everything that you have. So like when you go back to the COVID, what happened when they were talking about implementing the those vaccinations, and what happened? Joe Biden them tried to order that through OSHA, because OSHA is the government. You understand me? The ATF is the government. You understand me? See, so you have a lot of government agencies, and when they come together, that is called bureaucracy. Same thing as when you go to China, Champagne, they into communism. You understand me? North Korea is communism. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so understand that y'all looking at the commandments that's divided into two. You understand me? So you have a divine system and you have a philosophical system. And these philosophical system and this divine system, they are clashing. And when you see that, and when you line that up with today here in America, you see the Republicans and the Democrats. The Republicans, the divine, the Democrats, the philosophical system, and they clashing politically, or you want to say economically. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Let's read 2 Peter again. 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 12. Wherefore I will not be negligent to put you always in remembrance of these things, though you know them, and be established in the present truth. Meaning that you're going to be established in the present truth. You understand? Meaning that you're going to see and understand how the commandments of man and the politicians' agenda goes against Yahweh God. And Yahweh God and his commandments goes against the commandments of man. Do you understand me? See, so understand, you have a war that's being played out. And that war is politically. You can call it spiritual, but yeah, it's a political war. You understand me? The spiritual war is politically being played out. Yet y'all not able to see it because the church is not to teach. The church is not designed to teach you what you're looking at. Yet it keeps you in idolization. It keeps you captive. Because see, through the lack of understanding of what you worshiping, that they're going to continue to rule over you religiously. You understand me? Politically, because you lack understanding. That's why I always tell my kids, learn and understand what people are talking about. When I'm talking to you, learn and understand, cause you lack understanding, people gonna catch on and they're gonna play you like you dumb and stupid. Just like how these politicians play American people. These so-called African Americans, when you go and watch these Teen Top videos, how they be whining and complaining, talking about racism, this and that, because they lack understanding of the whole game. So they fall victim to racism, bigotry, discrimination. You understand? Phobic. They fall victim. They embrace the commandments of man, and then they go against Yahweh God, even though they believe in Jesus and they got baptized, who don't exist. You understand me? See, so you'll get a form of truth. You'll get a foundational of truth when it comes to biblical scriptures when you watch these media outlets. Do you understand me? Hey, it is what it is, because see, you get to understand. See, this is what you have to understand. Yahweh God and His commandments is a divine governing system, and you have the commandments of man, and they go against each other. Because see, understand, man's ideology and philosophy violates the commandments and make a mockery out of Yahweh God. Because see, understand, man's eyes became open and he became gods to know good and evil. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Let me go into the book of Genesis 11. And let me have 4. Genesis chapter 11, verse 4. And they say, go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto the heavens. Now, when he said the top may reach unto the heavens, and he's talking about the Tower of Babel, because see, understand that first prophecy was a flood. So Nimrod protected the people. So when they built the Tower of Babel, that tower was to prevent the death of people when the second event that's going to take, cataclysmic event that is going to take place. The first one was a flood. You understand me? See, so he protected them from that flood by building the Tower of Babel. You understand me? That they're going to reach the heavens. Because see, understand that they already know through biblical scriptures that the world will come to a close. Because he has spoken it in the book of Genesis. You understand me? Let's read that again. Genesis 11, verse 4. And they say, go to, let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach unto the heaven, and let us make a name. And they made a name for themselves, Babylon. Because Babylon basically means the gate of God. You understand me? Now, America is known as Babylon, but it's a gate of God. But America is a monotheistic country, because it believes in one God, not multiple gods. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so they made a name for themselves, the gate of God, because that's when you get in idolization. Because what happened was that man gave names to these celestial objects or these material matters that Yahweh God made. So they end up worshiping creation more than the creator. That's what Paul tells you in Romans 1. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. In fact, let me get before I finish up, let me get Romans 1, and then I'm gonna have verse let me start at verse let me start at verse 20. Romans chapter 1, verse 20. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. But yet, instead of saying that Yahweh created the heavens and the earth, what you got is doctrine called the Big Bang Theory or evolution. Now, the Big Bang Theory and the evolution are the ideology, philosophical views of the creation through man. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so understand that evolution and the Big Bang Theory has no relations to the scriptures, because those doctrines are the doctrines and the commandments of man and this creation of this universe. You understand me? Hey, Let's finish up. Let's read that again. Romans chapter 1, verse 20. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so they are without excuse. Because that when they knew Yahweh, they glorified him not as Yahweh, God, neither were thankful, but became vain. Now, vain means emptiness. But they became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish hearts was darkened. And it's talking about the philosophical nature of man is darkness. Do you understand me? The divine nature is light. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Verse 22, professing themselves to be wise, meaning that through the physical knowledge they thought that they was wise, but yet through the physical knowledge they are fools. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. They become fools and change the glory of the uncorruptible Yahweh into an image made like to corruptible man and to birds and four-footed beasts and creepy things. Meaning that when man's eyes became open, creation became wicked. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so when man's eyes became open, this universe, the celestial objects, the material matters, man, ideology, philosophy is corrupt. You understand me? That's why y'all don't understand Yahweh Shai. You understand me? A lot of Israelites and a lot of you all believers don't understand the Bible. Y'all don't understand this whole game. Because see, just like the church, the Israelites teach the physical nature of man too. But the physical nature of man, they teach us the physical commandments. You understand me? It is what it is, and through the physical commandments, they're gonna die to the commandments. You understand me? Because they don't understand the divine nature and the physical nature and how they all clash. Because see, understand the Bible is a political book. So y'all don't understand nothing. I don't care how many scriptures that y'all can quote. How much knowledge that you have of biblical history. At the end of the day, many believers lack understanding of biblical scriptures due to the fact of that knowing and believing is two differences. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Verse 25. Who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator. Meaning that y'all serve the creature, whether it's Yahweh Shai, y'all serve Yahweh Shai because he was created through translation. Because not Yahweh Shai, Shalaki. Y'all worship Jesus, who don't exist but only exists through through creation of the translations, or break it down into these other languages. You understand me? Y'all worship creation, meaning that y'all worship cars, y'all worship money, y'all worship material matters of this world. You understand me? When you go into these synagogues and churches, you see these statues. You understand me? When y'all go to the calendar, and when y'all go and worship based off that calendar, it's based off a planetary system. A lot of you all go to church on Sunday because y'all Sunday worshipers. A lot of you will go on Saturdays. You understand me? But yet y'all on Saturdays, y'all worship the planet Saturn. On Sundays, y'all worship that ball of fire, the sun. You understand me? Because you have to understand all these pagan gods from Egypt, from America, all the way down to Egypt, goes back to Babylonia. Not only to Babylonia, but they goes back into Sumerian in the first world. You understand me? See, y'all really have to understand this game and how it's been played. Because see, y'all lack understanding. You understand me? See, I understand what I'm worshiping. That's why every move that I make in freedom. But y'all don't understand that freedom. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Let's read verse 25 again. Who changed the Romans chapter 1 verse 25, who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie and worshiped and served the creature more than the creator. And then what happened is that y'all got these doctrines of evolution. Not saying that Yahweh God created man from the dirt with his hands, but man evolved from bacteria. You understand me? See, so understand the doctrines and the philosophy of man goes and violates and make a mockery out of Yahweh God. Do you understand me? Hey, it is what it is. In fact, let me get Let me go into the book of let me get Colossians. I'm gonna get Colossians 2 and 8. Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. Be aware lest any man spoil you through philosophy. Listen. Be aware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of this world, and not after Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach. Meaning that you got to be aware lest man spoil you through the philosophical ideology of man. Because the ideology and the philosophical views of man are corrupt. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so you have to understand that this world and this ideology, its political views goes against Yahweh God. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Listen to what Christ say, Yahweh Shai say. Let me get John 7 and 7. John chapter 7, verse 7. The world cannot hate you, but it hated me because I testify of it, that the works therefore are evil. And when he said testify, he's talking about the commandments. Because the commandments testify against the political, religious ideology of man. You understand me? Like, for an example, covenants, right? Thou shalt not covet anything. You understand me? But yet, these politicians, these devils that's in office, they create the condition, and they put policies and regulations in place that causes you to covet. You understand me? That causes black on black crime. But see, y'all like understanding, y'all can't see beyond the physical nature of man. You understand me? So y'all are captive to the religious and the physical ideology. You understand me? See, so when it comes time to exercise y'all faith or y'all belief system, y'all fall victim to the system. Y'all embrace the commandments of man, even though you believe in titles. You understand me? When it comes down to that point, y'all believe in titles. But yet, when it comes time to govern your life, y'all life is governed by the commandments of man. Y'all life is governed by these politicians, legislations, and agenda. You understand me? Knowing that this world is against God and Yahweh God is against this world. Because the first commandment is idolization. Yet you have a lot of graven images in these churches and synagogues. Y'all wear and y'all promote and get tattoos of these graven images. You understand me? See, so understand that the world and its ideology goes against Yahweh God. See, understand the politics of it. You understand me? See, I'm not negligent to give you the things that y'all need to know and understand, because see, behind these scriptures is politics. You understand me? And a lot of Hebrew Israelites that do have mainstream camps, that do have a lot of knowledge, that spend a lot of time in this, they lack understanding of the politics too. You understand me? Because Yahweh God is not racist. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so the evil acts that was committed against us here in America is not racist. America is not a racist country. You understand me? But yet a lot of people lack understanding, so they fall victim to the modern terminology that these politicians use, because these modern terminologies are nothing but instruments or weapons of war. You understand me? Let me give you an example. Let me get back. Let me get 1 Samuel 8, and then I'm gonna go to 12. 1 Samuel chapter 8, verse 12. Wait, before I read verse 12, I'm gonna get so I can get a better understanding. Let me start at 8, and then I'm going to go down to verse 4. 1 Samuel chapter 8, verse 1. And it came to pass when Samuel was old, that he made his sons judges over Israel. Now let's go down to verse 3. And his sons walked not in his ways, talking about in the commandments, but turned aside after lucre, and took bribes and perverted judgment, meaning that they was crooked. You understand me? They took bribes, they manipulated, and whatnot. You understand me? Verse 4. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came to Samuel unto Ramah, and they said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons not walk in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations. But this thing displeased Samuel when they said, give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Samuel, hearken unto the voice of the people in all that they say unto thee. For they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them. And what he talking about, reign over, he's talking about these commandments, because these commandments are a divine governing system. You understand me? So they didn't want a divine governing system, or what we politically we know as theocracy. Now, when you line that up with today here in America, the so-called African Americans, they are against theocracy. You understand me? They are against the commandments, because a lot of so-called African American Christians, they support transgender. They support these democratic agendas, and these democratic agendas are philosophical agendas that leads to death. See, y'all don't understand this game. You understand me? It is what it is. You understand me? See, so when y'all support these politicians and support and embrace these politicians, these legislations and agenda, y'all reject Yahweh God. Y'all reject the commandments. You understand me? It is what it is. So now you in the governing system of man, and the governing system of man is economic enslavement. You understand me? It's called bondage. You understand me? And they have a religious embodiment called the church. Religious ideology. Let's finish up. Verse 13. Verse 9. Verse 9, Shalaki. Now therefore hearken unto their voice. Howbeit ye protest solemnly unto them, and show them the manner of king that shall reign over them. Now let's go down to verse 12. And he will appoint captains over thousands and captains over fifties, and he will set them to ear his ground and to reap the harvest, and to make his instruments, listen, and to make his instruments of war and instruments of his chariots. And what he talking about is meaning that these policies that's in place, like when you go on the workforce in the time clock, you got the unemployment. You got when you get laid off, unemployment. You understand me? It is what it is. See, let me give you a better example. Like when the Democrats was in office, they wanted to pass a bill for the IRS to spy on all the Americans, right, about their transactions in their bank account. The reason why it didn't take place is because you had two Democrats, Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema, that stopped that. If they was on the board, then the IRS would be out after every citizen here in America and the so-called African Americans. Because when you go and pull out $20, that bank gonna notify the IRS, and the IRS want to know who's that money going to and what it's for. See, y'all don't understand. These policies are nothing but enslavement, but y'all like understanding, so y'all vote for these legislations. Okay, I'm giving an example. Like Venezuela, Chile, Colombia, right? They voted for all these people and put them into power because they heard the word free, right? Ain't nothing free in life, right? So they heard free this, free that, free that. So when they put these people into power, 2 or 3 days later, they leave in their country for political persecution. You understand me? Because they lack understanding of what they voted for. Same thing here in America. Y'all lack understanding of what y'all voted for. Y'all don't understand this political game, this economic war that America is in. Y'all don't understand the economics behind these political scriptures, or behind the biblical scriptures, so to say. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so understand, y'all fall victim to racism. Y'all fall victim to the modern terminology, discrimination, homophobic. You understand me? Say like I understand these commandments, and I understand that man, Yahweh God created man and woman to produce and to multiply. You understand me? See, so therefore my religious views are against homosexuality, right? I am totally against that. Now, by me being against that, by me being against that, the world is against me and I'm against the world. So you see how the politics play? You understand me? See, the world's ideology goes against the Bible, the scriptures. And the scriptures goes against man's ideology and philosophy. You understand me? See, so what happened is that when I exercise that belief, you understand me, and speak out against homosexuality. Now, a lot of you all believe and go to church and got baptized, but y'all fall victim to racism. Y'all fall victim to discrimination because y'all end up supporting it. You understand me? Y'all embrace the transgender movement. You understand me? Through democracy and religious teachings. Because what y'all say is that through the Constitution, you have a right to see who you want to see. You have a right to lay what you want to lay with. That's none of my business. That's none of my concern. It don't affect me. Do you understand me? But yes, it does affect you because why? These movements are being indoctrinated not only in the TVs and the movies and in the music, but they're being implemented in the classrooms too. That's why Donald Trump was big against defunding the Department of Education, because see, the Democrats going to educate your kids, and once the Democrats educate your kids, they are going to be dumb and stupid, meaning that they're going to lack understanding of what they're worshiping, lack understanding of what they're voting for. They're not going to comprehend and understand what these politicians is talking about. So through a lack of understanding, they're going to be enslaved religiously, culturally, and politically. You understand me? And so-called African Americans here to this day, we are captive to the religious ideology and philosophy. Do you understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so y'all have to understand. Let me go into Ephesians. Ephesians 5 and 17. Now let me go back and finish up John. Let me read that again. John 7:7. John chapter 7 verse 7. The world cannot hate you, but it hated me because I testify of it, that the works therefore are evil. See, so the world cannot hate me because at any given moment I can embrace the religious and the physical ideology of man at any given moment. You understand me? See, so the world can't hate me once I agree with its statutes and ordinance. You understand me? See, so if I embrace the world, I go against Yahweh God. If I embrace the world, I become an enemy to Yahweh God, because now I'm not talking about the commandments, that divine governance system, and learning and understanding what I'm worshiping. I'm embracing the commandments of man, that which leads to death. You understand me? Because anything outside of the commandments is idolization, is idol worship, regardless. It's not just about the image, it's idolization. You understand me? It is what it is. Go back to Romans 1, what Paul said. You understand me? They made Yahweh God into a corruptible person by putting these material matters to his creation. You understand me? Let's read that again. John 7 verse 7. The world can't hate you, but it hated me. I testify of it, that the works therefore are evil, and the works are evil. You understand me? See, so understand that this world, man's ideology and philosophy, or the world as a whole, is against Yahweh God. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so understand the politics. That's why I'm not negligent to give y'all understanding of what this game is about, because y'all need to learn and understand. It doesn't matter who get into office, whether it's in 28 or 32 or whatever, the next midterm or the presidential election. Do you understand me? See, so y'all have to pay attention to what this game is about. Because see, understand, when Barack came into office, it was change America. When Trump came in, it was make America great again. MAGA was starting to create. When Biden and the Harris administration came in, their campaign slogan was what? The battle for American soul. You understand me? Now Trump back in office with MAGA. See, so you have these philosophical governing system and this divine system, they clashing right here in America on the media outlets. That goes back into the commandments. The commandments is divided into two, the divine and the philosophical system. Do you understand me? See, y'all don't understand the Bible. Y'all don't understand this whole game. Do you understand me? It is what it is. Ephesians chapter 5 verse what you call it? Well, I'm in Ephesians, hold on, give me a second. Where was that? I was, I know it's in Ephesians, where we at in Ephesians? What? It's Ephesians 5 or Ephesians 4. Have the y'all have to give me a minute. Ephesians, what I'm looking for, that Ephesians, the spirit lusts against the flesh lusts against the spirit, and these are contrary to one another. So you can't do the things that you would like to do. I hope I'm quoting it right. Yeah. The spirit and the flesh, they lust, they go against each other. Because see, understand, the spirit is divine and the flesh is physical. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so you have a debate that's taking place. You understand me? It is what it is. In fact, let me get I hope I can get that again. So let me go back to the let me go into the book of Romans. I'm gonna get Romans 8. I'm gonna get Romans 8 and 7, and then I'm gonna go to a back a chapter in Romans, and I'm gonna get 7 and verse 14. Romans chapter 8, verse 7. Because the carnal mind is an enmity with Yahweh. Now when it says enmity, is a burial. Now the carnal mind is the physical mind. Do you understand me? It is what it is. See, I'm gonna hold that. I'm gonna give you an example. Let's get James 4 and 4. James chapter 4 verse 4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know you not that friendship of the world is an enmity with Yahweh? Whosoever therefore be a friend of the world is an enemy to Yahweh. And now the enmity is a barrier. You understand me? That barrier is what we call the philosophy and ideology of man. See, so once you embrace the ideology and philosophy of man, you become enemies to Yahweh God. Because now the commandments no longer govern you. But the governing system of man, you are governed by the governing system of man and its legislations and policies. You understand me? Instead of being governed by the statutes and ordinances of the commandments, which is a divine governing system, you are governed by a philosophical governing system of man. Let's read that again. Romans chapter 8 verse 7. Because the carnal mind is an enmity with Yahweh, it is not subject to the law of Yahweh, neither neither indeed it can be. You understand me? Because the commandments is divine and you are physical. Romans chapter 7, verse 14. For we know that the law is spiritual, because the laws come directly from Yahweh God. But I am carnal, so understand, meaning that I'm in the physical and I was born in the physical flesh. You understand me? See, so that divine spirit and the physical flesh, they clash against each other, and that's the politics of it. Do you understand me? See, so this Bible is the political book, because see, understand, the Bible goes against Yahweh. The Bible goes against man's ideology and philosophy, and vice versa. See, so understand that this war is being played out. You understand me? The war that the Bible speaks about are played out through politics. You understand me? That's why I'm not negligent to continuously put y'all into politics. Because see, understand, politics is a debate or a conflict. You understand me? See, so you in conflict with your own self and your own ideology and philosophy. Because you have a divine spirit and you have a philosophical spirit. Now, it is which spirit are you going to follow? Which spirit are you going to obey? Because worshiping is an act of obedience. You understand me? See, so when we go back to, I think what, Galatians or Ephesians, one of them, I think what Ephesians, the spirit lusts against the flesh. You understand me? See, so that's politics of it. You understand me? So either you're going to walk in the divine nature or you're going to walk in the philosophical nature. You cannot walk into two. You cannot worship two. That's what Yahweh Shai tell you in Matthew 6. I think what, 6:24? You can't serve God and then mammon at the same time. You can't serve money and materialism and then embrace Yahweh God. Because see, the money and materialism of this world is corrupt. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Like I told somebody earlier, y'all think blessings is about financial material matters and gaining. But no, like I said, it's not about the material matters of gaining, but these material things. You understand me? Being blessed meaning that you is in a state of condition to where you lack nothing. You understand me? When it comes to food, when it comes to shelter, when it comes to clothes, when it comes to transportation, and so forth on down, you're going to be blessed. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so y'all really, so y'all don't really understand what this whole game is about, because the church is not designed to teach you, so you all can't see beyond what y'all looking at in the media. That's why I'm not negligent to put y'all into remembrance. So therefore, at least you remember, and then when you watch these media outlets, you'll get an understanding of what these politicians is talking about. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so that's what you have to understand. That this world is against Yahweh God, and Yahweh God is against this world. Do you understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Because see, understand though, even though we are here in America, the so-called African Americans, we are the children of Israel. We are from the tribe of Judah, and the government know this and understand it. That's why you hear these politicians talking about the black community isn't don't have enough resources, or they lack resources, or you have these politicians talking about how they're gonna invest in the black community. You understand me? Because see, the government already know that the children of Israel or the children of Judah are in economic enslavement here in America. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so you have to understand that this war is played out through these politicians. You got the Democrats, which represents the philosophical system, and you got the Republican represents that divine system. You understand me? Now that divine system to that Republican Party is what we call the financial institution capitalism. Do you understand me? Now when it comes to the Democrats, you have the enslavement, and that enslavement in governance system economically is what we call bureaucracy, communism, and socialism. You understand me? Because socialism is a world economic enslavement. You understand me? Communism and bureaucracy are small enslavement, a state enslavement of man. You understand me? See, so when we go back to the commandments, The commandments is one legal system that's divided into two. And the philosophical system is where the governing system of man come into play at. You understand me? Because it deals with man and man. Do you understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so it's played out in America. Although we are redeemed, yet we are under these curses. And these curses are economic curses. You understand me? See, so through a lack of understanding, many believers and a lot of Israelites think that America is racist because of the things that took place against the black people. But understand, America is not a racist country. To prove that, Don Lemon suck on the white dick because he married to a white man. Eliyahu Omar, she married to a fucking white man. Ali AOC, what? Alexandria Cortez, she fucked with a white man. You understand me? See, these people fuck with white people. I mean, these black politicians, they fuck with white men. Even though the white man is a racist, but when it comes time to be sleeping, they married to these people. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, you have to understand. America had its first drag queen as the first woman, and that's Michelle Obama. Because Michelle Obama is a man. You understand me? Y'all say no, 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 no. She's a man. You understand me? See, y'all have to understand that the commandments of man, it doesn't matter what skin color. That's why racism don't exist in America. It's not about the skin color. It's about the enslavement and the lack of understanding that causes you to be held captive to the religious ideology and the philosophy of man. And by you being captive, y'all go against y'all very same faith system that y'all believe in. Y'all go against Yahweh God, not understanding the background behind these scriptures. Because understand, politics and religion is what this life is about, what this game is about, and what that kingdom is about. Y'all need to wake up and understand this game. You understand me? Because you have a lot of prophecies that been taking place within inside the Catholic Church. You understand me? Not just these politicians and their agenda. See, y'all have to watch everything. You understand me? But y'all not able to watch everything because the church is not detailed to go into great detail and to give you and to explain to you what you're watching in these media outlets. Because see, the church embracing these politicians' agenda. Homosexuality is big into the black community in the so-called African Americans, Hebrew Israelite communities. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, because they lack understanding of what they worshiping through democracy. You understand me? And democracy is a view, and a lot of people is captive to that views. You understand me? So what happens is that y'all go against Yahweh God. You understand me? So even though we are redeemed, yet the state of Israel in America is economic enslavement. Now you have several, or you have many so-called African Americans. They woke up. We understand. You understand me? So we're not captive to the religious governing system of man and its ideology and philosophy. You understand me? But when I'm speaking as a whole, you understand me? As a whole, the state of Israel or the so-called African Americans here in America, we are in economic enslavement, and these politicians remind you that and tell you that all the time. You understand me? But y'all not able to understand that because the way how the system is set up. You understand me? Because understand that life is hard in America. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. So even though we are redeemed, yet we are under these curses, and under these curses, life becomes very hard. You understand me? Let me get Galatians 3 and 13. Galatians chapter 3, verse 13. Christ has redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. See, so Yahweh Shai redeemed us from that curse. You understand me? He redeemed that. Oh, and Shalaki, let me go back. I was telling you Ephesians 5. I will tell you Ephesians 5 when talking about the spirit lust against the flesh. Shalaki, I was wrong. It was not Ephesians, it's Galatians. I knew it was going to come to me. I knew it was going to come to me. That's why I kept on going. But we talking about Galatians. You understand me? 5 and 17. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get that. Galatians chapter 5, verse 17. I'm going to start at 16. Verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit. Now when you say walk, that means live. And that spirit is divine. Not the philosophical spirit, but that divine spirit. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. And you won't fulfill the lust of the flesh when you walk in that divine spirit. Meaning that you won't give instant gratification to the physical nature of man. Okay, I'm giving an example. Say like when you go, when you let's say like when you see a naked woman, right? Natural reaction of a man is that his thing is going to rise up. He's going to think about sex, right? Because Yahweh God created man and woman to produce and to multiply, right? So the sexual nature is a part of the nature of man. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so what happened is that when it comes time for sex, by your mind focusing on the commandments, your physical nature or your instrument is going to stay soft. Meaning that you can walk around a whole bunch of naked women, right? Dying women, but your mind is on the commandments. So your dick is not going to get hard. You're going to hold a conversation with her like if she had on clothes. You're not going to see her in a sexual way. That's walking in that divine spirit. You understand me? It is what it is. Okay? So that's the spirit, that divine spirit. Let's read that again. Let me read that again. Verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Why? Because Yahweh Shai walked in that divine nature. You understand me? Listen to what I'm gonna hold that. Listen to what Paul say. Let me go back to Romans. Let me get back to Romans 8 and let me go to verse 1. Romans chapter 8 verse 1. There is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Yahweh Shai, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. Now let's go down to verse 3. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, meaning that the law is divine, because it comes directly from Yahweh God, yet the flesh is weak because the flesh is corrupt. So we was born in a corruptible nature. We was created in iniquity and sin. I think we go to Psalms 51. I was shaping in iniquity, created in the sin. See, so we all was born with a sinful nature. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Let's read verse 3 again. For what the law could not do, that it was weak through the flesh, and it was weak through the flesh. Why? Because the law is spiritual, and we are carnal. See, so the law go back into Romans 8 and 7. The mind, the physical mind, not subject to the law. The flesh is not subject to the law. Do you understand me? So let's go back to Galatians 5 and 17. Galatians chapter 5 verse 17. For the flesh lusts against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. These are contrary to one another, so that ye cannot do the things that you would. See, so understand that you have the physical nature and that divine nature, and they clash. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Let's read Romans 8 and 3 again. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, Yahweh sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. And talking about walking after the flesh, talking about the philosophy and ideology of man. No longer living in the philosophies and views of man. Because see, y'all have to understand, go back into the garden, man's eyes became open. So man know what's good and what's evil. So he don't need Yahweh God to tell him what's good and evil. He don't need the commandments and the statutes and ordinance to tell man what is good and what not, because man become gods himself. And the definition of God is basically a supreme being with supernatural powers, right? Now, man is God because man do have powers. And a lot of powers comes through their legislations and regulations and policies. You understand me? Because see, understand these regulations and policies, they govern your life. They determine what you eat, your cultural practice, what you can say, and what you worship, and who you politically voting for. Because see, legislation controls you. You understand me? And you are controlled through the philosophy, the governing system of man, that which leads to death. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so you have to understand. All right. That the flesh and lust, the flesh, the physical nature of man, and that divine nature, they clash. That's politics. You understand me? See, so understand that politics is behind these scriptures. Everything is politically being played out. You understand me? Whether you watching whatever sports you watching, from boxing to football, it's all politics involved. Because the world is based on politics. Life is based on politics. You understand me? Man's eyes was open. You understand me? So the stated condition is what was given. When you go to Deuteronomy 11 and 26, you're either going to keep the commandments and be blessed, or reject the commandments and be cursed. You understand me? But no one understand that the commandments it's a divine governing system, and it's institution to that system. Divine system is what we know as capitalism. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. So let's get back to Galatians. Galatians 3 and 13. Galatians chapter 3 verse 13. Christ has redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. See, so we are redeemed from that curse. Yet the state of Israel as a whole, the conditions, we are under these curses. Because when you go back again to Kamala Harris and her statement that the black people, so-called African Americans, they lack resources and equal opportunity. Because see, they know that the children of Israel, the tribe of Judah, is an economic enslavement to these other nations. Do you understand me? Deuteronomy 28 and 23. And Deuteronomy 28 verse 23. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thy feet shall be iron. Meaning that life is hard. You understand me? Life is hard when you reject the commandments and embrace the commandments of man. Life becomes hard because you be enslaved to man. You understand me? It's religious, political, and cultural practices. Do you understand me? It is what it is. Let's read that again. Deuteronomy 28 verse 23. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thy feet shall be iron. And when you go to America, when you line that up in America to this day, you do have, life is hard, especially under the system of Esau. You understand me? Life becomes hard because you under a philosophical governing system. You no longer under a divine governing system. You understand me? Y'all have to understand these curses and blessings. These curses are economic curses, and America and the black people here in America, we are under these economic curses. Do you understand me? It is what it is. Let me get Psalms. Let me get Psalms 106 and 42. Psalms 106 verse 42. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand. And we were brought into subjection under the hands. You understand me? Go back into Deuteronomy 68, 28 and 68. You understand me? Let me get that. Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spoke unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And we was brought into bondage here in America. Because here in America we are under economic bondage. Understand, America is a Babylonian system. You understand me? Because it's a one-man rule. Yet economically we are here in Egypt Economically, we are enslaved. You understand me? Hey, hey, it is what it is. Let me go to what? Psalms. Let me get Psalms 37 and verse 14. Wait, actually, let me start at verse 12. Psalms 37 verse 12. The wicked plotted against the just and gashed upon him with his teeth. Meaning wicked plotted, meaning that they came up with legislations, they came up with schemes to deceive the American people, to and capture, to keep the tribe of Judah captive to the religious ideology and philosophy of man. You understand me? Let's read that again. The wicked plotted against the just, and the just are what? Those that are exercising the commandments, whose hearts are set on the commandments. And the wicked are those that live outside of the commandments, because anything outside of the commandment is wickedness. You understand me? Verse 12. The wicked plotted against the just and gashed upon him with his teeth. And that's talking about the policies and regulations that's in place. The Lord shall laugh at him. Listen. The Lord shall laugh at him, and the Lord is going to laugh at them. You understand me? Because what happens is that they are fools. Even though they think that they are smart, they are fools. That's what Paul tells you in Romans 1. They profess to be wise, but they became fools. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. For he said that his days is coming, and he said his days coming. That's why he laughing, because when you go back into the book of Genesis, he talked about the end time. Even though he created the heavens and the earth, at the same time of the creation, he created an end time. Because see, y'all have to understand, life, the scriptures, everything was already written long before the foundation of the world was created. You understand me? That's why I'm always talking about the past tense, chosen and written. Do you understand me? Because these events that already took place long before the world came into existence, and when the world was in existence, life continued. History repeats itself. You understand me? That's why these scriptures going to stay in this world and in the next world. These scriptures are going to what? That's why Christ said, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words not. These scriptures, these commandments, they're not going to pass away. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Let's start from verse 12 again. Psalms 37 verse 12. The wicked plotted against the just and gashed upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he said his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out their sword. Now, the wicked drawn out their sword. That sword is called the system. You understand me? And have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversations. Let's read that again, verse 14. The wicked have drawn out their sword, talking about the system. They exercise in that system. You understand me? Go back into Samuel 8 and 12. Instruments, these modern terminologies are instruments of war. They are weapons of war. You understand me? And they're going to come at you economically, religiously, and politically. You understand me? And through a lack of understanding, y'all fall victim to this system. You understand me? It is what it is. The wicked have drawn out their sword and bent their bow, and cast the poor and needy, and to slay such as to be of the upright conversations. Their sword shall enter into their own hearts, and their bow shall be broken. Meaning that he's going to laugh at them, because they're going to get back what they deserve. Because see, understand, Israel fell to this monarchic governing system of Babylon, and Babylon going to fall to the system of this world. You understand me? So he's going to laughing at them. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Let me see. what is Jeremiah? See, these precepts be coming to me. That's why I'm by myself. So y'all will have to bear with me for a moment, because see, understand, Israel fell slain to the earth. I mean, Israel fell slain to this monarchy system, and this monarchy system is going to fall, be slain of the earth. I think we're saying Jeremiah. Okay, I'm gonna get Jeremiah 50. Where we at? Oh, okay. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation amongst the nations? Meaning that it gonna get put an end to economically. You understand me? Employment, labor wise. Because see, understand, you have policies and regulations that are being passed that send jobs overseas. You understand me? See, so when it comes to American economy, America import more than they export. See, so you have to go back and understand that tariff war that Trump and the world was going against. You understand me? Or what was in negotiation with the tariffs. You understand me? Because see, the tariffs and all that affects the economies of a nation. And once the economy fall, that nation is going to fall. And this military is going to fall because the military needs financial support. You understand me? See, so once the military and the economy fall, then the whole country is going to fall. And America is going to fall. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. But it's it was another one that I wanted to get in Jeremiah, because see, understand, Israel is going to get what it is. I mean, America is going to get what it deserves. Jeremiah 50, verse 33. For thus said the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her, yet a little while, and her time of harvest shall come. And America harvest is coming. You understand me? America harvest is coming. See, so understand that although we are in America, you understand me, we are under the economic curses. Despite us being redeemed from T.F.Y, but the state of so-called African America, we are under these curses. And these curses are economic curses. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Let me get Deuteronomy 28, and let me get 38. Deuteronomy 28, verse 38. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shalt gather little in, for the locust shall consume it. Now, the locust is what you call the federal government. Do you understand me? Verse 39. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but thou shalt neither drink of the wine, nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them. Now, the worms are the state and the local governance system. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so the locust is the government, and the worms are the lower level government. You understand me? You got the state, and then you got the city governing system. You understand me? So America got a federal, a state, and a county system. You understand me? You got different levels of government. Let's read verse 38 again. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shalt gather but little in, but the locust shall consume it. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shall neither drink of the wine nor gather of the grapes, for the worms shall eat them. Now let's go down to verse 42. All the trees and fruits of thy land shall the locust consume, meaning that it doesn't matter whether it's the state, the county, or the federal government, or the world government. At the end of the day, the government gonna come and take everything that you have. You understand me? Because it's the government system of man, and man enslaved man through its policies and regulations. You understand me? Hey, Hey, it is what it is. See, so understand, regardless, the government is going to take everything that you have from your land, through taxes, through regulations, through fees, through judgments. You understand me? When you die, they going to be hovering the grave to collect money. When you born, they hover the hospital to get that money. What Nas said, you pay a preacher to be born, you pay the doctor to be born, and the preacher to be buried. You understand me? Because they want that last set of dollars. You understand me? They want the last set of dollars. Hey, it is what it is. See, so that's what y'all have to understand. All right. Let me get to Makai. Let me go back into Makai 2. And let me get Makai, I think what, Makai 2 and 2. Makai chapter 2 verse 2. And they covet fields. Listen, and they covet fields. Now covenant goes back into the commandments. You understand me? It's the 12th commandment. Thou shalt not covet anything of thy neighbors, anything. You understand? Of thy neighbors, whether it's material or not. It's not the covet. Let's read that again. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. And when they cover fields, meaning that they put like this here. In other words, see, understand, these politicians know that the children of Israel here in America, and they know that the children of Israel or the African Americans are free, have freedom, and that freedom comes through capitalism. Because see, there's freedom in the capitalism. See, when it comes to socialism, bureaucracy, and communism, they are economic enslavement. You understand me? See, I'm gonna give you an example. Say like when you go to South Africa, India, you go to Philippines, Japan, China, North, South Korea. See, when you go to these other countries, even though the black Americans here in America holler about racism and injustice, right? Yet when you go into South Africa, when you go into the other continents, when they look at the black people here in America, they see freedom. You understand me? See, y'all lack understanding. Y'all vote against freedom. So y'all vote to enslave your own self through the policies and regulations of man. See, y'all lack understanding, so y'all enslave your own self through policies. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so they covet fields. Why? Because they see that freedom. Because see, there's freedom in the capitalism. You understand me? See, so when you make $250 and you double that 250, and then you turn that 2 into 4, into 450, and then that 4 into 8, that's capitalism. Why? Because then you have enough money to enjoy life and to buy the things that you want to buy, because you work hard for that. Because see, understand, Yahweh God is a capitalist. America is a capitalist country. You understand me? America believes in God. They believe in this Jesus character who don't exist as being God. You understand me? But at the end of the day, America and Yahweh God is a capitalist. So America is a capitalist because America is a religious country. Now that religious governing system again is what we call theocracy. Donald Trump, the Republican Party, Lindsey Graham, Tyler Green, whatever her name, Marjorie Tyler Green, Dick Cheney, Lindsey Graham, Ron DeSantis, all of them represents their religious governing system, which is they enslave you through this religious teachings of Jesus, who don't exist, and that he is God. You understand me? See, so you are captive to the religious ideology. Yet in America, in this captivity of this religious ideology, there's freedom economically. You understand me? Hey, there's freedom in economic because Yahweh God is the capitalist himself. You understand me? Let me go into Ecclesiasticus And let me have 5 and 18. Ecclesiasticus chapter 5 verse 18. Behold, that which I have seen, it is good and comely for one to eat and drink, and to enjoy the good of all his labor, that he taketh under the sun all the days of his life, which Yahweh giveth him, for it is his portion. See, that is his portion to go out and enjoy. See, so when you go get you worked all week, and you want to go out to the movies, you want to go out to eat, you want to go out and eat dinner, it's okay. You understand me? But then again, you have a lot of teachings say that you cannot do that. You understand me? See, you got to understand with freedom and coming out of Babylon, yet while you were in Babylon, having that freedom under the commandment. See, y'all lack understanding in these because the church is not designed to teach you, and the Hebrew Israelites really don't teach that. You understand me? So therefore y'all like understanding, so therefore y'all never grew. Only thing that y'all grew in is the philosophy. Because see, there is no answer in philosophy but more philosophy. You understand me? Let's get verse 19. Every man also to whom Yahweh given riches and wealth, and hath given him power to eat thereof, and to take his portion, and to rejoice in his labor. This is the gift of Yahweh God. See, so Yahweh God is the capitalist himself. You know what I'm saying? And capitalism is a gift. Do you understand me? Let me get Psalms what is 120 128, and let me get I'm gonna start at 1. Psalms 128 verse 1. Blessed is everyone that feareth the Lord, that walk in his ways. See, so when you fear the Lord, you'll be blessed. You understand me? That goes back into the commandments. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1. You're going to be blessed. The state of the condition, are you going to be blessed? You understand? Verse 2. For thou shalt eat the labor of thy hands, happy shall thy be, and it shall be well with thee. See? So when you're talking about working with your hands, talking about capitalism. You understand me? Making money and owning your own stores and delving that, that's called capitalism. Whether you selling oil, incense, or you selling narcotics, that's nothing but capitalism. See, so they covet when they see the children of Israel, the tribe of Judah, practicing capitalism here in America under a religious governing system that held the American, so-called African Americans captive to this religious ideology, calling themselves to be Christians, but they're not Christians. We are Israelites. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so y'all have to understand Yahweh God is the capitalist. You understand me? And here in America, we are economically enslaved. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Let me get 1 Samuel 8 and let's go back to 1 Samuel 8 and 12. I want to get it down. 1 Samuel chapter 8 verse 12. And he will appoint him captains over thousands and captains over fifties, and will set them to ear his ground, and to reap his harvest, and to make his instruments of war and instruments of his chariots. See, so when you practice capitalism, they got these terminologies ready. See, when they say capitalism, I'm gonna give you an example. America is a capitalist country, right? Now, to attack capitalism, you call it racist. You understand me? See, so understand that when it comes time for man and woman to get married, when it comes time for man and woman to get married, that's natural laws. You understand me? But when man and man get married and you speak out against that, that's wickedness. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so what happened is that y'all fall victim to what? Even though two men got married and you speak out against it, now you're a phobic. Now you discriminate. See, y'all fall victim to the modern terminology that these politicians use, because y'all don't understand racism is an attack against Yahweh God. You understand me? America's not a racist country. You understand me? Because the black man and the white man been working together for years. The first slave owner in America was a fucking black man. You understand me? It is what it is. Blacks enslaved blacks from the beginning. Xerxes was black and he enslaved his own black people. Esau enslaved his own people. You understand me? Slavery ain't nothing new. Man enslaved man from the beginning of time. You understand me? Nimrod. You understand me? Go back into Genesis 10. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord, meaning that he was against the Lord. And his kingdom was Babel and the rich and Kalad and Kani in the land of Shinar. Meaning this one world governing system ain't nothing new, and this system goes against Yahweh God. You understand me? Because they labeled Nimrod king, because he protected them. He was like a Nephilim. You understand me? It is what it is. See, so you have to understand that man is against Yahweh God. Yahweh God is against man. You understand me? That's why I continuously put y'all into politics, because it's always going to be a debate. You understand me? Like yesterday, I was debating about with boxing, and I was telling him that your opinion is not factual. But when I'm talking about boxing, I only deal with the facts that a fighter pick and choose who they're gonna fight due to the fact of that the contract negotiation and that cow and that purse on how much money is going to be made and who's going to take home what. You understand me? See, when I spoke facts, you understand me? See, like I say, you can't turn opinions into facts. You understand me? See, so y'all like, so he liked the understanding of politics. He like understanding of how this game is being played, because he can't see beyond the physical. He can only see but so much, and a lot of y'all can see but so much, and the church is going to keep y'all that way. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so y'all fall victim, because see, understand, Yahweh God is the capitalist, and they covet fields. They don't like capitalism. They don't like when black people practice capitalism, even though they are capitalists themselves. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 28. And let me have 33. Deuteronomy 28 verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed away, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thy eyes which thou see. And what happened is that you have a lot of blacks that's upset due to the fact of that the other nations coming and reaping the benefits of America, even though America was built off the hands of the black Israelite slaves. You understand me? Like the Asians, they come over here and reap the benefits. They get cars, everything. You understand me? Now the children of Israel, the immigrants that's jumped the southern border, they coming over here, but they're not reaping the benefits of America that you all think that is when y'all watch the news, that you think that they are, but they're not, because they getting stamps and Medicaid. You understand me? They're not. They've been exploited for cheap labor, because see, the government know that the Venezuelans, the Chileans, the Colombians, the Panama, they already know that they are from the Northern Kingdom. So when you go back and look at it, you have the 12 tribes of Israel is here in America. You understand me? So you know we are enslaved. We are back up in Egypt. You understand me? We are captive into Babylon again, because history repeats itself. You understand me? Then let's go down to verse 43. The strangers that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Meaning that when you look at the political map, when you look at these agendas here in America that's being implemented, you can see that the so-called African Americans are on the back end of the stick. Because see, what happened is that the immigrants come in and they reap the benefits. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. See, so they're going to get these benefits, because why? Due to the fact of that they don't understand what they're voting for. So they know that they vote for socialism and capitalism, communism, but they don't understand what they're voting for. So the Democrats, the independents, socialists, they already know. So they're going to give them stamps, Medicaid. They're going to reap the benefits of America. They're not really reaping the benefits of America, but they're being exploited. You understand me? Because they are the children of Israel. You understand me? See, so that's a new set of voters to keep them into power. Because the Democrats need the black vote. Once the black vote, once these immigrants get enough status to vote, they don't need the black vote no more. You understand me? See, so y'all have to understand how this game is being played. See, so when you look at economically, the black people always is the tail. You understand me? The hate, even when you go in America, in a lot of these black communities, you have, like in Miami, you got Haitians, they got their own community. The Cubans, they got their own community. See, all the immigrants from the Northern Kingdom that come over here, they come establish restaurants, they come and establish businesses. But when it comes to the African American, the niggas here in America, they don't have nothing. We in poverty. Even though you woke up to your nationality, you still in poverty. You understand me? See, so understand that the government know that economically, the African American so-called is in economic poverty. You understand me? We are under these curses as a whole, as a nation. Do you understand me? See, so they already know these things. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and let's go to verse 37. Deuteronomy 28 verse 37. Thou shalt become an astonishment and a proverb and a byword amongst all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee. Meaning that you're going to be called everything else except for Israelite. You're going to be called an American. You're going to be called the Negro. You're going to be called the black man. You're going to be called the so-called African. You're going to be called the African American. You understand me? You're going to be called all these names because they are substitution for our nationality of who we are. You understand me? Like Muhammad Ali said, when he went to another country, they didn't call him a nigger. But in America, they called him a nigger. Because, see, understand, America know that the children of Israel is here in America. You understand me? So they already know. That's why they have legislations and regulations in place that restrict the black community, that restrict black people. You understand me? But y'all, that restriction, y'all are called racist, but it's not racist because you have to understand this game. You understand me? You have to understand the enslavement of man. And a lot of you lack understanding. Let's read that again. Deuteronomy 28 verse 37. Thou shalt become an astonishment and a proverb and a byword amongst the nation, whether the Lord shall lead thee. Meaning that wherever way you go, you're going to be called. Everything else except for the children of Israel. Let me get Psalms 44. Let me get Psalms 44 and verse 14. Psalms 44 verse 14. Thou makest us a reproach to our neighbors, which is those of the nations, a scorn and a desertion to them that are round about us. Thou makest us a byword amongst the heathen, a shaking of the head amongst the people, meaning that all the other nations, when they look at American black people, they shake their head. Even though they listen to the music, they shake their head. Even though they listen to the language, the other nations shake their head. You understand me? Because see, these other nations know that they're not chosen, so-called African Americans are the children of Israel. Yet the children of Israel in America, they're rebellious. You understand me? They embrace Christianity, the religious philosophy of man, the philosophy of man. Y'all support these politicians. You understand me? So through the supporting and rejecting, the Israelite heritage was stripped. So you're no longer called an Israelite. You understand me? Because that's going to be a debate. You understand me? Let me get 1 Kings. Let me get 1 Kings 9 and 7. 1 Kings chapter 9 verse 7. Then would I call off Israel out of the land which I've given them, and the houses, because these answers and stuff falling on me. 1 Kings 9 verse 7. Then will I cut off Israel out of the land which I've given them, and this house which I have hallowed my name, talking about the tribe of Judah, I will cast out of my sight, and Israel shall be a proverb and a byword amongst all the people. You understand me? See, so understand that these curses fit us to this day here in America. You understand me? See, so we are under these economic curses. You understand me? That's why I'm saying America is not a racist country. You understand me? Let me get in the pocketbook. Let me get Second Ezra's, and I'm gonna get what? Second Ezra's 2, and I'm gonna get Second Ezra's 2, and I'm gonna get 7. Second Ezra's chapter 2, verse 7. Let them be scattered abroad amongst the heathen. Let their names be put out of the earth, for they have despised my covenant. See, so we despise the covenant by rejecting it and embracing the commandments of man and his governing system. You understand me? So as a result, we became a byword and a proverb. You understand me? Hey, it is what it is. Let me get Psalms 82. Let me get Psalms 83, and then let me have 2, verse 2. Psalms 83, verse 2. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hated thee have lifted up their head. And we're talking about they that hated, talking about the other nations. They don't like Yahweh God, like Karl Marx, Marxism. Marxism know that God exists, but he ain't into God. He into the philosophical system. You have a lot of black people that are Marxists. Michael Jackson is a Marxist. Martin Luther King is a Marxist. No, Michael Jackson is a Zionist, but he's into Marxism. You understand me? Martin Luther King is a Marxist. You understand me? A lot of these Cornel West, he's a Marxist. You understand me? AOC, she's a Marxist. Kamala Harris is a Marxist. You understand me? You have these people that follow the CCP movement. You understand me? But what y'all looking at, the economic war, and y'all watching the creation or the rebirth of Leviathan. Because y'all like understanding of this whole game. Because domestic and foreign, all these events are biblically related. You understand me? It is what it is. Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against the hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more remembered. And Israel is being no more remembered. You understand me? Due to the fact of that, you got the regulations of speech. You understand me? You got these terminologies, modern terminology that's into play. You understand me? See, so understand that the government know who we are as a nation of people. That's why I'm not negligent to put y'all into politics and religion. You understand me? Because now you get the understanding when you go out throughout my videos, you get the understanding of the political game and how it's all politically related. You understand me? Let's go back to Deuteronomy 32. And let me have 26. Deuteronomy 32, verse 26. I said I would scatter them into the corners. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from amongst men. And our name was taken out of the history books. So you're always going to have that debate. So no matter where you go, you're not going to be called an Israelite. You're going to be called an American, an African American, and so forth, because those are substitutions for our nationality of who we are. You understand me? As a nation and as a people. You understand me? Let me go into Proverbs. Let me get Proverbs 22 and 22. Proverbs 22, verse 22. Rob not the poor. And it said rob not the poor, but yet the government do rob the poor through regulations, through taxes, and through fees, through child support and all. You understand me? They have a system that collects money. Let's read that again. Rob not the poor, because he is poor. Neither oppress the afflicted at the gate. And what they do, they oppress the afflicted. Because you have people that's afflicted against the system. Because you have people with 3-strike felonies that they can't vote. I mean, not they can vote, but they can't. It's hard for them to get employment. Then you have what you call that in the court system. You have the eviction at a high rate, because once he get evicted and once it goes to court, that is on record. So when another apartment complex or another homeowner gonna rent to you, he gonna run your name through the system, and your name is going to come up on that system in evictions. You understand me? See, so they got a system that's in place. You understand me? That that restrict and that watch these so-called African Americans here in America. You understand me? Because the government know who we are as a nation, as a people. Let's read that again. Proverbs 22, verse 22. Rob not the poor because he is poor, neither oppress the afflicted at the gate. You understand me? And let's go to Proverbs 10. Let me get Proverbs 10 and let me have 15. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 15. The rich man wealth is his strong city. The destruction of the poor is their poverty. Meaning that destruction is poverty. You know what I mean? Meaning that because the state of Israel is in poverty, they are in self-destruction. Because when you go back to the cultural practices, you can see you have black on black crime. You understand me? You can see how we kill each other. You understand me? Gang violence, gun selling, prostitution. You understand me? Overdosing, suicidal rates. You understand me? See, so the black, what's that song back in the day? Self-destruction. You headed for self-destruction. You understand me? And the black community is in poverty, so they're in destruction. Why? Because you have policies, regulations in place that cause them to be destruction. That cause them to covet, cause them to stumble over the commandments, causes them to violate the laws, you understand me, and reject the commandments of Yahweh God through regulations and policies. So you have to learn to understand what y'all worship. You understand me? And a lot of you all don't understand what you worship. You understand me? So at the end of the day, y'all fall victim to the system because you lack understanding of what you worship. That's why you need to learn to understand what you worship in.